What's going on, guys? My name is D. Anthony with Evolution Traders, and in this video we're going to quickly recap a little bit about what happened today and where were the potential setups, what were we looking for on stream, what were we looking for in Evolution Traders. Now again, if this is your first time on my video, thank you guys for stopping by. We're going to quickly cover some of the trades that I took today. We're going to cover some of the support and resistance zones. We're going to cover where potentially you could have ran into some trouble. So with that being said, this chart that we're looking at here, it's a 2-chart system. So the chart on the left is a 5-minute time frame, the chart on the right is a 5-minute time frame. When I'm streaming, I like to go back and forth between the 1 hour and other various time frames. So I always want to leave one 5-minute chart up so we can kind of see what's going on. The chart on the right is my big chart, right? That's going to have all my moving averages. I'm going to quickly glance at that. I'm going to kind of see where these other support and demand zones are and resistance levels are. And then the chart on the left is just going to be a bare bones chart with just a 20. Now again, I use different variations. Sometimes I'll include the 200 and the 5 on there, but when I'm running this setup where I've got everything here on the right hand side already, right, I've got every moving average that you can think of here. Okay, I just want to focus on the 20 SMA. Now the first trade of the day that I took was right off the open. Now, if we look at what happened right off the open, we got a big explosion candle. This is a 53-point range candle, guys. Now, I want to be very, very transparent. When this candle started to shoot up, there was so much momentum. I quickly, I have a bracket order for when I'm trading mini contracts. Honestly, guys, it's only a 4-point take profit. When we started to explode higher, I set that bracket order in, I fired off the trade, it got filled almost instantaneously, and then I got out of the trade. What I was then looking for after that was I wanted to see, did we confirm the 20 SMA? And you can see here right off the open at 9:30, we get that close over the 20 SMA, and then we not only get the close, but we get the confirmation on the following candle at 9:35. So if you look at this whole body of work here, again, there's multiple ways to trade it with supply and demand and risk management, right? So always, I would definitely recommend to trade micros, okay? Trade micros, you're gonna have a lot less stress. You're gonna have it's gonna make your life so much easier. And I would definitely stick between 2 and 4 micros. Again, if you're a little bit more experienced, maybe you can go 5. And if you're really experienced as a scalper, maybe you can go 1 or 2 mini contracts. With that being said, when you're giving up 50 points potentially on an open range candle, you have to automatically do the math. If you're wrong on this potential move and this move retraces, let's say it's just a trap move off the open and it retraces, you're going to lose around $100 per micro contract. So if you're trading 2 micro contracts, that's a $200 loss. If you're trading 3, that's $300 loss. So keep it somewhere in between there. Now, what you're looking for is one of 2 things. You're looking for something close to 50 points, but again, I understand that that's a lot, and even myself, it's very, very hard to stomach, watching it go up 30, 40, 45 points and not taking profits. Hell, it's even hard to watch it go up 15, 20 points and then not want to snatch those profits. So again, discipline and patience always is going to be, key. It's always going to pay off. But if you're looking at this potential move here, the high was 18,688, okay? Now, within a matter of 5, 10, 15, 20 minutes, we go all the way up to a price of 18,743. So within this time frame here, within 15 to 20 minutes, you would have not only got 50 points, but you would have got a lot more. Now, again, I know a lot of people in my room in Evolution Traders, they caught this momentum play. They caught that 20 SMA play for a quick scalp, right? Because again, we never know where it could be potentially going. Now, I want to direct your eyes to the right side of the chart. This is the same 5-minute time frame, but it's going to have a little bit more levels of supply and demand. Notice how once we confirm, right? Once we confirm this 20 SMA play, we run right into the Bollinger Band and kind of trickle around. But once we break through this Bollinger Band, we have no supply until we get up to this linear regression. And sure as all heck, it goes not only to the linear regression, but stops to a T. So again, this is why I like to use these charts, right? The second trade that I took was a little bit later on in the day, and it was a very kind of weird, right? Kind of weird play, because with that first trade being taken, I was able to make a good chunk of the of my P&L on that. And I really didn't want to trade anymore, because one thing that I do is, especially if I hit a good trade or I hit a couple of good trades, even a few good trades, or even a few smaller trades, I tend to start going into protection mode. But I have a multiple account, so I was okay doing that. And on my leader account, which is the account that I was trading that had the big gain off the open, what I decided to do was copy trade because I got a little bit of a cushion there, and I wanted to go down and trade some micros, right? That way, if I do end up taking a loss, I'm not going to give back what I made in the morning time. And again, if I do win, it's just like stacking together a little bit of a piece of the pie and kind of getting those other accounts going. So with that being said, once we kind of, we're consolidating around, we kind of came back down into this 20 SMA, and then we consolidated and we came back down, and then we kind of pushed up higher here. And then once we came down again, and I noticed we're not really taking out, right? I'll draw it on the clean chart. We weren't really taking out this swing low. Okay. Now, once we weren't taking out this swing low, what I was looking to do here was use this swing low of around 18,728, 729 as a hard stop loss. This is on the live stream today. Okay. So I went long on this 20 SMA here. And when I went long here, my thought process was, we've held this once, we've held this twice. Now we're going to start to go and take out this high of day. Okay. Now we're going to take out this previous swing high. And it confirmed, and then I had to sit through about 10 minutes worth of drawdown. Now, again, I took 4 micro contracts. The most I was down at one point was like 80 or 90 bucks. So it really wasn't that big of a deal. And I already had the game plan. Again, this is where you have to have the game plan going in, because when you have the game plan going in of what you're going to do and what you're expecting, regardless if you're in drawdown or you're in profit, you're pretty calm, because you already know how much your potential risk is going to be. For example, on this candle, I was going to give up 12.5 points automatically, but because I was going to give it a little bit more room, the low price here was 742. I was going to give it all the way down to 28.29. So I was going to give it another 10, 12 points. So realistically, I was going to give up between 20 and 24 points on this overall move. So trading 4 micro contracts and losing around $50 a contract could have potentially been around a $200 loser. But what that did was it allowed me to stay in the game, and it allowed me to stay in the trade, because watching this trade hold this Bollinger Band and hold the 50 EMA and the 50 SMA and hold this swing low here, I knew that there was potential to kind of break to the upside. Now, we set up a couple more 20 SMA plays to the long side. This one here was a 9-point range. This was the one that actually really took off here. And again, a couple of traders actually in Evolution took this as well. But the other level that we were looking at here was this high, right? So we were looking at the 18,772 area, and we wanted to see that high of day get broken, because we were trading with inside this range for quite some time. If you look at the the time frame between around 11 and from when we broke out at around 12:30, you're talking about almost an hour and a half that we were kind of trading with inside the range. So again, I was already sitting long. Now I could see the equal story for someone sitting short and say that we're going to break to the downside, but again, your high of day would have needed to be your max pain stop loss, just like this swing low was my max pain stop loss. Now, once we broke through the high of day, again, I had these bracket orders set up from when I was trading heavier size on the mini side of things. So I had to take profit, a firm take profit at just 10 points. So it was a $65 winner or something around there. And then once we did break this high of day and we closed, we consolidated sideways for 5 minutes. And I let everyone know, what, I feel pretty good about this. I'm going to take this next trade here. Same thing, 10-point take profit. Ended up hitting the 10-point take profit. That was an extra $120. And I just got, out of the trade, right? Again, 2 quick trades there. So I was able to kind of, stack up that original account, as well as kind of build those other 2 accounts that really didn't have any trades taken on them. So again, when you're looking at the charts, right? When you're looking at the charts, the trend, it was going higher, okay? But for a portion of the day, it was realistically consolidating for that next move higher, okay? Now, when price action is slow like that, you really have to fall back on and depend on your technical analysis, right? And that move off the open really held all day. We never really came close to testing the 50 or the 200. We kind of teeter-tottered up and down this 20 SMA here, but all in all, we had a ton of support, right? And I was kind of also calling out here that once these Bollinger Bands were getting tight, we were waiting to see those Bollinger Bands explode. It's like a hot air balloon where that you pop, and the tighter those Bollinger Bands get, the harder and harder we're squeezing that balloon, right? And you can only squeeze a balloon so much until it pops. And in this case, it happened to pop to the upside. Now, it could have very well popped to the downside, but again, you know, we did have a lot of support. So when you're looking at the big chart like this, it's kind of giving you a clear picture. And not only does it give you a clear picture, but it also kind of lets you know that, hey, if we do lose this swing low, where potentially could we be coming, right? And when we were watching this trade live today, I was letting people know, because there was quite a few people that took this 20 SMA long play here at around 1230. I let them know that we've got some firm resistance in the 70s. And if we get out of those 70s, we were actually going to the 15-minute chart and the 30-minute chart. And we found that next supply zone in the 90s. And again, you guys can go back and watch that live stream, but I was saying that we've got to take profits into the 90s. We got to take profits at 93.50, 93 and a quarter. We got to take it. And sure as enough, guys, it went to 18,794.50. Now, again, this is not because I'm some type of rocket scientist when it comes to reading these charts. I'm just as dumb as the next guy. But all I'm looking to do is just, you know, take myself back to kindergarten and paint with inside these lines. I'm going to respect the charts and I'm going to respect price action, because again, I know nothing. All I know how to do is, you know, click buy, click sell, click buy, click sell. But at least when I'm clicking buy and clicking sell, I want to make sure that I'm on the right side of the trade as best as I can. Now, again, I'm not perfect and the market's not perfect. So sometimes we have everything that aligns and we have all these confluences that are working together, and sometimes the trades still don't work. But all in all, congratulations to everyone who made money today. I know I ran a poll. There was, you know, about 25, 35 people who voted on the poll. And it was, you know, it was a little bit of a mixed bag. It was about 68, 69% of people that were out there on YouTube as well as on Discord that were green on the day. So again, you know, if you really take that into account, you're talking about, you know, 7 people out of 10 were profitable on the day. And again, you're always going to have those outliers. You're always going to have those people who maybe made a little bit of a mistake or tried to short the market when we were in an uptrend, or, you know, maybe they had a broker issues and they didn't get filled and it caused them to, you know, have some slippage or something. I don't know. But the moral of the story is it wouldn't be, you know, it wouldn't make too much sense if, let's say, 10% of people were profitable today and 90% of people failed. Then that means there's a huge discrepancy in the way that people were seeing the market. But I like when a group of people are all looking at the market the same way, and that's what helps when you're trading with the group, right? Everyone's looking at the same charts essentially. I can look at the charts this way with all of my moving averages, and I can just look at a bear chart with just a 20 SMA. There's really no right or wrong way to read the trade, because we can all see the same levels. There's all the same, you know, supports and resistances and moving averages and VWAPs and all this stuff. So at the end of the day, once you get together and you start working with a group of people, you know, it really, really helps, because it can kind of snap you out of having that emotional and personal bias towards leaning too much towards one side of the trade. You know, I want to see the majority of the room all be on the right side of the trade, of course, but I want to see the majority of the room at least have the same kind of analysis, right? You know, if those odds were skewed, then there's a problem. We're not seeing the market clearly, and maybe that's an indicator where we need to kind of take a step back and come back tomorrow. If you were someone out there today who was maybe losing money and getting yourself chopped up, you know, the best thing to do is kind of walk away, reset yourself, come back tomorrow and kind of see, you know, back testing after market hours and kind of see, you know, maybe what could you have done a little bit better. With that being said, guys, I've overstayed my welcome. Like, comment, and subscribe if you guys want to tune in to the live commentary and everything that we do in the morning off the open in the Evolution Traders Room. That link is down in the description box below. And then after the market kind of and all the dust settles, I kind of come on to YouTube and do the live stream for everyone a little bit later, right? But I really like to try to focus on my room first and myself first. Again, I've made this point a million times. When it comes to trading, you, my friend, have to take care of yourself first. You know, don't worry about what everyone else is doing. Worry about what you're doing, because at the end of the day, no one's going to put food on your table better than you can. So with that being said, make sure you guys are putting in the work and you guys are doing what you guys need to do. And again, that's why I don't like to, you know, really come on live stream right off the open, because it just creates too much FOMO for a lot of people, especially the inexperienced, because the market's moving so fast. So again, let's let the market digest. Again, you know, we came on later in the day. us from Evolution Traders, we came on YouTube later in the day, and there was still trade opportunities, right? There was still trade opportunities. So there's always going to be that trade opportunity. You just have to kind of be patient and wait for it. I'll see all of you guys in the next one.